Hello and welcome to the Video Gamer UK podcast.
Wait. Who is that hosting?
Today this is Alice Bell hosting, as we are bereft both Jim and Burns now.
I said no more talk about that.
So we'll never mention them again, they are dead to us. But we are going to get some new people in soon. We can't tell you any more about that, but we are getting some new warm bodies in these chairs, which is very exciting. But for now, we have myself, Alice Bell, we have David Scammell.
Hello.
And we have Mr. Tom Ori.
Hello, if you hear a horrible noise, it's just me dying.
Tom, I'm a bit scared about being stuck in a room with you, I'll be honest.
Tom is unwell. We should say that off the bat.
If I were to do anything, and this is unlikely, that I find humorous, then I may produce a noise that sounds like someone dying.
What do you mean this is unlikely?
Well,
it's highly likely.
All the time, this is what his management style is like, listeners. He's very passive-aggressive.
Listeners. They're listeners now.
They are listeners.
I love it. Right.
They're listening. So today we're gonna talk about what games we've been playing in a bit, but first I thought we'd load up the news cannon, Dave.
Oh yeah, we need to shoot that cannon all over the place.
Shoot some hot news all over the place.
It's been a bit of a quiet week. The real news kicks off tomorrow, or today, depending on when you're listening to this.
That's true.
With the PlayStation meeting, which is very exciting, isn't it?
Should we pretend we're over there?
Well, we can pretend, but
it's New York, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it like in New York, Dave?
I've actually been to New York for the last PlayStation.
Right
now, it's freezing. It's like Home Alone.
It will be quite cold. I don't know if it'll be freezing.
Yeah, it's snowing. Yeah, polar bears. It's just gone bad. There's like all sorts.
Polar bears.
Yeah. It's like nuclear winter.
Wow, it really has gone bad.
Yeah.
Shit, maybe you should come home, Dave.
Imagine Fallout.
Yeah.
In New York.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how it had snow. With snow.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Well, let's talk a bit about that. Do you have any predictions, expectations, guys?
Well, I think we know half of it, don't we? Well, I think we know the majority of it, really. PS4 Slim, which is not 3D printed. I'm pretty sure of that.
We're pretty sure it's real now,
Pretty sure it's definitely not 3D
printed. It may actually be 3D printed. I don't know how they manufacture
it. Well, Sony is still not saying anything about it.
No.
Which
kind of tells you everything.
Yeah.
Saying nothing is saying everything, really.
What if it is actually 3D printed? And every single one that we've seen in the wild.
Well, someone now
someone has made.
They have to make the packaging as well, though.
What if it is the
they've done a very good job
ever?
There's some convincing looking components.
Sony should give them a job if they have been faking it.
A very nice array of RAM.
Because a teardown video did come out, didn't it?
Yeah. Very metal looking, which I'm not sure. Can you print metal?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Manufacture it and mould it and shape it, can't they? Alice's brother does metal work.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Can you do like the internals of PS4?
I did metal work.
Not blacksmithing. But I mean, if they could have 3D printed the shell and put the bits of it, like gutted a PS4, and then but you know.
So the PS4 Slim, everyone knows what it looks like. Everyone knows what it's gonna do.
So we're expecting that.
Hopefully they go, here it is. Here's a price.
Let's
it's out tomorrow, and that's it. And it's done in about 5 minutes.
You think it's actually going to be out this week?
I think it'll be out soon, won't it? Like this week or next week.
I think
if they're already in the chain,
because they're in the shops, right? That's where people are getting them. So
be this week or next, I imagine. But obviously the better news is Neo finally being revealed.
Yeah.
I assume. Anyway, they haven't actually said the Neo's going to be there, but I wouldn't have thought people would be going over there to see the Slim.
Imagine it's a whole hour about the Slim.
I mean, it definitely
that would be very surprising.
I'd be surprised if it was more than 10 minutes. But
it's a fucking hour about this. That's it. I'm out.
I'm interested to see what games are going to be there, though.
Me too.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Any idea what you?
Well, you did a little list of predictions, didn't you?
I did a little list of predictions.
Which I thought was
not necessarily in predictions.
But what you'd like, yeah.
Final Fantasy 7.
7.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting actually. That's interesting to throw in the ring.
What, as in the remake?
Yeah.
Because they might show a bit of the remake, I guess.
Just because it's that kind of game that doesn't matter what it's been shown on, it's going to add hype.
I think it's too close to 15 to start talking about that.
It while 15 was still going on, so I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past them. But something like that level of like hype, like maybe Crash Bandicoot. Who knows? Like, get something out that is a little bit fan favourite.
Crash is possible. I guess I'm kind of looking at it as who are they known to have teamed up with, like Activision, so like Call of Duty play a big part. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just thought, like, you know, there's the new expansions coming out soon. I imagine they'd tie that in with look how much better it looks on here. But I'm kind of more excited not to see the new stuff coming out and how it looks better, but actually how they could improve the older stuff, whether the older stuff being patched up.
So you mentioned Uncharted 4, I think.
Yeah, like that seems to be a pretty key first-party game that they could, you know, there's obvious improvements that can be made there. Single player can be boosted to 60 frames, and multiplayer can be boosted to 1080p res. Like this is obvious kind of improvements there that I think will go some way to showing off the power differences between the two consoles.
Yeah.
GTA 5, I saw people mentioning
GTA
as well.
5 I would love to. Obviously, I've done a PC version of that. I wouldn't have thought it would be, depending on specs, obviously, I wouldn't have thought it would be that difficult to push it up closer to where the PC version is, potentially. 60 frames, it's already 30 frames, 1080 on PS4, so presumably the jump there will be 60. Maybe with some extra,
Yeah. Do you think they'll actually announce any new games?
I'm not sure. I'm not convinced they will. What could they announce?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll announce anything. They might show, you know.
They might show like Horizon. Here's some extra funky stuff.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'd be very surprised if they dropped a game announcement.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know, like the only thing I can think of potentially is a new Infamous maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean it was a PS4 showcase game.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, like show off what it could do. So we haven't seen anything. I don't think we've seen anything from them since.
There might, I guess there might be some VR stuff they haven't talked about yet, but they may.
I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
How they show it off is going to be interesting. Because to get across that things look better, like this is like there's lots of talk about how they're going to just up-res stuff and that kind of thing, but even up-resing things, having better frame rates is not going to be an easy sell.
Especially not in a live stream, that's probably going to be capped at 30 frames.
Yeah, so I assume they will. I think, hopefully they will have some games that they actually like enhance graphically other than just technical performance or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about Last Guardian? Do you think they might drop some?
Depends what's happening with the Last Guardian, doesn't it? Like Dave said the other day, it should sort of be finished about now.
Well, it's coming out next month, right? So, I mean, I don't know either way. I don't know if that game's been delayed. I would hope not.
Yeah.
Again.
You'd think that they'd make a big deal out of that game going gold finally.
Yeah.
And that should be happening fairly much.
Maybe they'll announce that. Maybe they'll go say it's gone gold at the event. It's been an easy win for them.
Yeah.
Just to go.
Yeah, that's true. It's finished. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I think perhaps because this is the first time this has ever happened. It's not just like a new console reveal. You know, I think, like you said, Tom, the way they message it and the way they show it will be very interesting. It'll be a pretty big factor, I think, in how Neo does. If they come out of it and it comes across like the Wii U reveal, for example, and people aren't really sure why they should get it, what it does, that could potentially cause trouble in the long run. I don't know, so I think it needs to be worded well, and it needs to be presented well.
Clearing up how your old games will work on it is also important. I think, like, obviously with the leaks, we kind of think we know how it works in the older games, just run in a mode that basically
spoofs the existing system.
so it doesn't sound like you get much out of older games unless they're patched to make use of Neo. But then, like with Xbox One S, that did give small improvements to games.
Small passive
so I mean, I would, if that's doable, I'd like to see like my old games that maybe struggled to hit 30 actually now do easily. But I don't know. It's the kind of thing that they need to clear up possibly.
It's odd that I don't know. It's a weird thing to think that got all that power in there, but they're deliberately locking at a certain spec just to run what I guess are essentially back compat titles now on a new system.
There's always so much confusion about this kind of thing for like your general consumer. You've got to be really clear about stuff like back compatibilities because you know.
Like
I think as long as they're clear, like PS4 games run on both. Like as long as that message is out there, which it seems to be.
But if you look at Microsoft's message for Xbox One S, there was a story about it would improve performance. And then they said no, it won't, and then it comes out and it does. It's like.
I think they're in a tight spot because obviously the difference between the two is pretty slim. Like you're talking frame rate advantages, you know, 3 or 4, 5 frames or whatever. So they can't really sell it as it's a more powerful Xbox One.
I guess it's
really,
better to
but
say that it doesn't and then it turns out it does a bit rather than saying it does.
It's better they did it the way round
yeah.
that they did. But at the same time, it's mixed messaging.
Yeah.
Which causes a lot of confusion.
How much do you reckon it's going to be then? And when do you think it's coming out? This year?
I think it'll be this year. I think it'll be around the launch of PlayStation VR. Maybe slightly later.
It's got to be around the same time.
Yeah.
Because I did PSVR. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I think it makes so much more sense if they're going to be like, it's better with Neo kind of thing, you know.
It's a weird timing though. Like there's gonna be people out there, I guess, who are existing PS4 users, and I said this before, like who are thinking, oh, yeah, I've got a bit of cash, I'll get a PlayStation VR. That looks quite cool. But now they might be going, oh, maybe I won't get a PlayStation VR. I'll get a Neo instead. Yeah. And vice versa. There might be people going, oh well, I do fancy a Neo, but VR's coming out. I don't know. They don't directly cannibalise one another, but they do kind of intrude on each other's territory. But they're not going to be cheap.
Like, so. I don't know how much it's going to retail for. Like, I imagine.
I expect it to be three.
What
I imagine it'd be launched by PS4 350.
350, yeah. So
yeah.
It's not going to be a cheap week or month if you get that and PSVR at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I guess there would have been a lot of hardcore guys and girls that bought a PS4 and Xbox One, and they were a week apart.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are people with more disposable income than others, I guess.
Do you think maybe, if Neo is this year, that there is a game coming out we don't know about, perhaps?
Say that again?
If Neo is this year, because you look at Sony's lineup for this year.
What do you mean?
You think there's like a secret launch thing
Well, maybe you look at their games. Obviously, they've got a lot of focus on VR, so a lot of their stuff is coming to that. So that kind of weakens their like normal lineup. But what have they actually got coming? Last Guardian? Is that it?
They did have Gran Turismo, didn't they?
That's been delayed.
Yeah.
So for like a new hardware launch, you'd expect good first-party software to go alongside it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty weak in terms of what's coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the PS4 launch was not that strong.
I think their first-party stuff has been
Killzone.
Yeah.
Another Killzone. Yeah. I don't know. Unless it's been a long time since Infamous and stuff like that. So don't know. I know it just seems weird to have a surprise launch for something like that. That you'd think you'd have heard something about that by now.
But it just seems odd that they would launch a new piece of hardware that is a big deal. Like if it is, even if it's not as powerful as the Scorpio or whatever, it's still significantly upgraded over the PS4.
To be honest, I think if they can come out and say everything. Right, because as it is at the moment, PS4 has a slight advantage over Xbox One in terms of power. It already has that, I guess, that vibe of people thinking games run better on PS4 than on Xbox One. If they can come out this Christmas and say, all the big games, Watch Dogs 2, Call of Duty, Battlefield, everything runs a lot better on PS4 Neo than it does on Xbox One. I don't know, maybe that message is enough to sell it without needing a strong first party lineup. But yeah, it will be interesting. It doesn't seem to be much buzz though. There's no one really talking about it as much. Sony hasn't pushed it at all.
Look,
they sent the invites out, and that was about it. Gaff's talking about it in a specific. But there's hype within the specific communities. But there's not real.
I guess there's no marketing is there at the moment because it's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not like an E3.
I guess they don't want. In a way, they don't want people to be hyped about it until it's there because they want to keep selling. PS4.
Well, my little brother has no idea that it's because he texted me saying he'd got a tax rebate and was interested in buying a console. He was like, I'm going to get a PS4, and I had to be like, no, because Sony have got their thing. So I think people in general have no idea. It's not like any kind of huge deal.
Which is a bit different to how Microsoft's handled it with Scorpio. They've been quite upfront saying, look, we do have a more powerful console coming out. End of next year. Sony's not even given a date. They've said that they're doing it. But who knows? But will it be out this year? Even it might be March, but I don't know. That seems unlikely. I don't see why they would announce a new console this side of Christmas to release next side of Christmas. Like that just seems like they are directly cannibalising potential sales of PS4 this Christmas. But
well, I've said it before that Andrew House has been talking about how he likes the Apple model of conferences where they're like, and that's available right now, or like in 2 days, so.
If it's that close, you'd think something about, obviously, the Slim. What's it been now? What's it going to have been? 3, 4 weeks?
It's crazy, isn't it?
So if Neos are in the channel, they have locked them down massively, which makes me think that they're not coming for another month or so, at least. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow or today, whenever it is, whenever you're listening, or we've already seen it. If you're listening next week, you know, we
Yeah,
know
exactly.
what's happening. They're probably already out.
Yeah.
You've probably got one. You've got one right in front of you. You're listening to this on that. It should be a bit weird.
It would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in the news canon that
Not really.
you want to
It's been
fire?
a bit of a quiet week.
Do you want to just mention COD? You mentioned COD before we came in here.
Well, it was COD XP over the weekend, wasn't it? Which Snoop Dogg was in attendance.
He loves some COD,
Yeah.
that Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, he does. It looks very good, especially Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always looked good, but it's looked surprisingly faithful to the original game. Which I think has got older people, myself included,
Yeah.
very excited. So.
But I think it's annoying people more that they can't just
I can see why they've done
buy it.
I understand that. I think
I understand, but
if you can get it later, standalone, I think they've been a bit sneaky the way they've worded it. And if that does happen, I can see them getting in a little bit of trouble for it. But at the end of the day, you know, if you want, I don't know, like there's going to be a lot of people that just want that game, but £69 for 2 new games isn't the end of the world, I guess. I think they could have charged a lot more.
Yeah.
But
it'd be interesting to see sales after it all has kind of settled down, because I just don't know whether they would have. To me, it seems like maybe they'd have benefited more having 2 completely different launches, built up a massive hype around each one. But I guess they think this is a massive draw for people to pre-order and all that kind of stuff.
One of the other things they could probably do with clarifying sometime soon is whether you actually need to put the Infinite Warfare disc in to play Modern Warfare Remastered, because I imagine there's quite a few people thinking, I'll pre-order that because that's a download, and then I'll just trade in Infinite Warfare, and I'll get back, £30 maybe. But we don't know this one either way. Like, it could be a standalone launcher that is completely separate to Infinite Warfare, or you might have to boot Modern Warfare through the Infinite Warfare main menu.
Yeah, because I thinking about it, just assumed it would be a download.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a download. It's not
but
on
like,
the disc,
but like,
there may not be a way to
just
launch
a standard.
it without the disc.
Yeah.
Who knows? So I think they've deliberately not clarified that so far. So
wow.
Don't know. Do not know. Yeah, I think it looks very good. I actually think Infinite Warfare looks good as well. I'm surprised how close it looks to Black Ops 3. It seems to use the same movement system of double jumps and wall running and all that kind of thing. And I mean, that's fine for me. I quite like Black Ops 3's movement system, but because it's basically Titanfall. But I can see why people perhaps wouldn't want that much. But yeah, interesting. There's also they call them combat rigs, which are basically Black Ops 3 specialists. So it does seem more like almost like a sequel to Black Ops 3 that we weren't expecting when it comes to multiplayer, at least.
I liked the in-space stuff, though.
Yeah.
I think it looks different, so I'm cautiously optimistic, I think.
It's unusual for Activision to do that, though.
Yeah.
Like, usually, Call of Duty's year on year, the multiplayer has its own kind of... It's obviously Call of Duty, but it has its own unique twist, almost. In recent years, anyway. And this does seem like pretty much the ideas of Black Ops 3 done again. But I don't know. I don't have an issue with that, because I did like Black Ops 3 a lot. It was the best COD in a while. So we will see. I haven't played it yet.
No.
We didn't actually go to COD XP. I'm just going by videos that I've watched online. So it
Did
could
you
be a load of rubbish for all I know, but I think it looks alright.
Do you see all the photos and stuff? People, I didn't really follow much of it, but people putting up photos just like smoke and like stuff exploding everywhere. Like it's a huge thing, yeah.
And stuff like I went to the first one years ago, and it was actually a lot of fun. And I think if you're a Call of Duty fan, you would enjoy it a lot. If there was one in London, I would definitely.
Wow.
Like, it was good. To be fair to Activision, I don't know what it was like this year, but the first one they did was a good show. So yeah, it's just a shame it's all the way over in LA every time.
Yeah.
There you go, Activision. Bring it over here.
Why aren't more things in London?
Yeah. That's about it, I think.
Yeah,
news canon's pretty dry at the moment. There's Gran Turismo been delayed. I mean, no one's really surprised there. I think we mentioned that on last week's podcast maybe as well.
All right.
Actually, I've had a thought.
Have you? I can see it crystallising in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neo,
Yeah.
remember when Konami put out that Metal Gear 3 arcade pachinko machine or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know that it is.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Remaster.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love it.
What a little noise you made there, Dave. That was lovely.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Well,
there you go.
Well, let's move on then. I'll talk very briefly about PSVR.
Yeah, go on. You said I was very disappointed.
Yeah, and your face was so sad.
Your thoughts.
Well, I really like PSVR, but Dave was sad that Drive Club made me sick.
But don't you get car sick?
I do get car sick in real life, so I think maybe it was just too realistic.
Did you get car sick, Dave? Presumably not.
No, I like driving.
Yeah, so maybe you'll be fine.
So maybe we're fine. It wasn't really, like, I was fine with pretty much everything I did in VR. It's just when whatever I was doing was moving too fast.
Right.
Then I was sort of like, ugh, and started to feel a bit queasy. And Drive Club, I had to tap out after like 40, 50 seconds. I was just like, I will throw up all over this nice white walled room.
Fair enough. I'm very much looking forward to Drive Club VR.
Yeah?
I like Drive Club a lot, as everybody knows.
I'm sure it's like Drive Club in VR. Like.
I just think, because I've not actually tried a racing game in VR, and I think it seems like one of the most natural things you could do in VR.
It gets around the limitation as well, but in terms of in something else.
Yeah.
It fixes lots of the problems.
That was interesting to me, like, only like about half of the things I did were like you're in something. Less than that, really.
Yeah.
Like being in a car or being in a mech. A lot of the PlayStation VR games I did, you could, like, it was like walking around, like Resi 7 I did, and you used the controller to walk around.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that in VR.
Yeah.
I can't even do the normal demo.
But that was fine. Like, you got used to it.
Yeah.
It was that was fine.
It's just that sense of depth, I think, that it gives you when it translates to a racing game. That could make the difference between I'm driving a car, or no, I actually feel like I'm driving a car, maybe. Like being naturally able to sort of gauge the distances and things like that.
Yeah. But then, there were other things where people were, walking around. There's like Robinson the Journey, I think, and like and I did Batman. Batman was my favourite. Batman is the best VR game that I've tried.
It's not like an Arkham Asylum or anything like that.
It is Arkham.
It's first person though.
It's first person, yeah. So the demo was in 2 parts, and it was about half an hour, 25 minutes, something like that. And the first half of the demo was teaching you to use your hands, because you hold the move controllers for the full experience, and those are Batman's hands.
Right.
So it teaches you how to like pick up a batarang from. So you have like your utility belt, and you have your grappling hook on one side, and like your investigating thing on the other, and you can just pick them up from your side, which is pretty cool. And then the batarangs are on the front of your belt, and you can just grab one of them and throw it. Oh, wow. It's pretty cool. And then you go and investigate. The whole game is spoilers if you don't want to know. Well, the whole game is. Where's the whole plot of the game? The basis of the game.
The spoilers.
Well, okay, you're investigating a death.
Okay.
And
that's fair enough.
Yeah, and the second part of the demo was sort of showing you a taster of sort of what some of the quote unquote gameplay is kind of like, and that is you're looking at this dead body in an alley, and apparently I was the only person that Dax, the rep from Rocksteady, who's like, I've done thousands of these demos.
Dax Gin, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dax Gin?
Yeah.
I've not seen Dax in a very long time.
He's a very nice man, but he was like, I've done thousands and thousands of these demos, like all over the place.
Best name.
And you're the only person I've seen laugh at the dead body in the alley.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But I was laughing because Batman was like, he was being all like, I should have been here. I should have stopped this, like, out loud. It just made me laugh.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh.
Could you imagine yourself saying
Yeah, exactly. And
Batman?
I was like, I don't care. But Batman really cares.
Yeah, he does care.
And you do crime reconstruction, so it does the hologram in VR in 3D in front of you, and you fast forward and rewind it by turning your hand.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah. So you do that, but like you look at it and you can sort of move to different spots around it, which was really cool.
Is there any combat?
See, I didn't see any combat. And I'm not sure. Like, there is definitely space for them to be able to do that because you have your hands and you can hold your hands up. So I can imagine you maybe doing like a kind of cutscene quick time thing where you punch someone or something. but I'm not sure how
It's going on
extensive
Wii.
that could be.
What about driving the Batmobile?
That was not in either. But there was a bit where I grapple hooked up to the bat plane.
Yeah.
Looked up in the sky, and shot my grapple hook, and went.
This is one of the
good.
games that's like what, 16 quid or something.
There's a lot of games that are about 16.
Yeah, it's a launch.
Do you get a sense it's going to be quite brief?
I think possibly. That's I think the thing with VR, because of the VR because we had the HTC Vive, I liked PSVR more from the standpoint that the head
it's a very
thing is
comfortable headset.
very comfortable,
Yeah.
much more comfortable.
It's very light.
Really light. Patrick Dane, the man who likes everything, said to me he felt maybe it's too light.
Is that different to Pat Bren?
No, yes, different man.
Okay. I get confused.
But he said he felt maybe it was a bit too light, and he felt like it might, he felt like he'd break it or something.
Actually,
But
find like the clarity of the screen compared to.
it was fun. I mean, it's less precise in how you can focus it, because you focus it by sort of moving in and out and pressing a little button to. But it was fine for me.
Yeah.
I think it'd be easier to wear glasses with it on. But I don't know how well it would focus for glasses. It's obviously a little less crisp than the
I don't
Vive,
really need
but
glasses,
it's.
I just wear them for like.
I was
There's
just
no
saying there are
actually
other people
lenses in them.
listening.
Yeah.
It's a bit less crisp, and a bit less than the HTC Vive, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and it's cheaper and it's way less hassle. Like the Vive, you have to have these two fucking things and you set them up and they have to be this far apart and at least this high, but not too far apart and all this shit, and you have to set two separate plugs on opposite sides.
Yeah.
And also the PC and everything. So this just seems much more consumer friendly and more comfortable. But
Did you play Battlezone?
I did not.
Oh, I need people to back me up on Battlezone.
I don't think Battlezone was there. But...
No, I might not have been. The cost of the games, though, going back to that, because there are a lot of these cheaper £16 ones, but then there's also ones like Battlezone, for example, that is $49.99, and I never saw that coming. When I previewed that game months ago, May, whenever it was, I thought, in my head, I just kind of assumed arcade shooter, maybe 25 quid, 30 quid tops, don't know, who knows. And when you realise, actually, it's a £50 game, that kind of changes your mindset a little bit.
Is Riggs also 50?
It is, but I guess perception-wise, I can kind of see that as offering a deeper multiplayer experience, which may validate that higher cost. I don't know, but I guess Sony are in a tight spot where they don't really want to put out just all this cheap software and then make VR look like, sort of cheap. I don't want to say shovelware, but you know what I'm trying to say. That kind of cheaper, lower-end software. But then the stuff that is more expensive, and I guess premium, is that going to warrant the price tag? I don't know. Like, there's no. It's hard to tell. Like, there's no. How are like Oculus games priced? Are they typical to?
I don't know. If you look on like Steam, like there's so much. Right, like you get a load of the shovelware stuff. Yeah. That's really cheap, but it's like it's just like a very small experience. Like I think there's one there now. You just go and stand in a field full of velociraptors or something. And it looks alright, but it's the kind of thing you'd want to pay like £1.
Yeah.
That's the thing that my concern with VR is that it's at the moment there isn't really anything. There's stuff that you can do once and you'll be like, oh, this is amazing. What brave new worlds! Like, oh my god, and it's all like.
I'd pay that.
That's fine, and it's
something like that. If it's just a brief 10-minute.
And it's like
thing I've used
cinematic experiences and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's sort of like something you would only maybe do once or not very often.
It's
and
like the kind of thing you go.
If it's cool
around,
enough,
you show it to them, and that's cool. Like one of the Vive demos. Well, it probably did cost money. I can't remember how much it was, but it was just the one where you go and stand on like a sunken ship and then a massive whale comes along.
Yeah, see, there's one like
£1 for that.
There's one like that for PSVR Worlds, and it's called and it's like you're in a diving cage and you go down and like
those a little bit. Like you move, don't you?
You can walk around in the cage, but you can't do anything.
Does the cage not actually dive?
The cage goes down, and it's not a game. It's still like a cinematic experience thing.
I mean, like the Vive ones, for example, are just static scenes. That you can kind of just.
But it's you can move around the little square or bit kind of thing. You can look around, but it's not a game. You don't do it. But and then like there's a bit and like a shark comes up and starts attacking the cage and stuff, and it's a bit scary and whatever. But then like if you do it again, you're like, well, I know exactly what's going to happen. So
you didn't get to do the one where you're on the street luge, did you?
No, because you have to lie down for that.
That looks like
That would, yeah. So they're like, you have to lie down for that, so we can't do that.
Cool. Like, I'd like to give that a go.
That would definitely make me throw up.
Wasn't there a PS1 game that was like that?
There was a street.
Like a streetboarding one or something.
Yeah. It was like one of those, like, on the back of, like, Road Rash style.
Yeah.
Kind of extreme sport type thing.
I remember liking the demo of it. Weird. Is it true that instead of using PlayStation Move controllers, you can hold two DualShock 4 controllers and use it that way? Like hold them on their sides.
Everything, like...
One-handed.
I don't know about that. I know that you... I'm pretty sure you should be able to play anything in PSVR using DualShock controllers instead of having to get Move controllers. Because no, fucking Move was terrible.
I'm sure on the packaging it says like PS Move required on something. Whether that's just early placeholder stuff or not.
I don't know. I'm sure I read somewhere. I may be wrong, but I think a lot of them definitely you can use controllers.
Check before you make a purchase.
Yes, I would check. But they are selling now. They're selling double pack, special packs of Move controllers and stuff.
That's from the news cannon. Zing. That's the sound of the news.
Good. We should do a news cannon sound effect. And it is weird that because Move fucking died on its arse.
Well,
if I remember rightly.
Just a wannabe Wii, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and now it was a better controller than the Wii.
Now they're sort of bringing it back.
Yeah.
Bringing that big glowing dildo looking thing back, and
is that what it is? Oh, I don't
Look at your face, scandalised.
Funny looking one.
I said it's well. Anyway, it's just odd seeing everyone being like, yeah, Move controllers again.
Yeah. It feels weird that they didn't. I mean, I guess maybe they don't think it needs anything more advanced, but it does.
It's like
a bit odd that technology that's old is then being combined with something that's really new. Yeah. But if it works,
that's what I mean. It's just odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked PlayStation VR. But you know, as with all VR, it remains to be seen how much I would actually use it if I got one.
Did bouncing between different experiences in quick succestion, did that mess with your head a little bit when it came to trying the next one? Did you expect it to act a certain way and then didn't? Do you know what I mean?
The one that was hardest to get used to was Resi, because I was using the controller for that.
Yeah.
DualShock, and you move with the left thumbstick.
Yeah. And
then you look around by looking around, but then you can also turn with the right thumbstick.
Ooh.
And you don't turn.
Oh, I don't think that made me.
But no, this is the thing. You don't. But it's weird because I think to counter that kind of you don't turn smoothly with the right. It's just you sort of re-angle if you can't turn your head all the way around, kind of thing. Okay. So it's just sort of reorienting yourself. So that takes a little while to get used to, because you instinctively try and move around like it was a regular game, and then you don't. So it took a while to get used to, but it was fine. And because you move at walking speed as well, it didn't make me feel ill at all.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, those sort of games, I guess the control scheme is gonna... It's like when first person games first came to console, isn't it?
It changes a lot between different games, I think.
Imagine going back to like the GoldenEye scheme now.
Gosh. So...
Keeping your pre-order, Dave.
PSVR.
Yeah.
Well, I've currently got 2 pre-orders.
Why have you got 2?
So I do need to cancel one still.
I remember you told me that, and you were like, I need to remember to cancel one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to get it, yeah.
I'm going to cancel mine.
Why?
I think I'm more likely to spend time with a Neo than I am...
You see? This is what I was saying earlier.
It's just, I don't think I've got the right setup either. Like, most of the time I play games sat on my bed. Doesn't seem like that's the best. And my PS4's over on like the side cabinet, and I don't see how that's going to not cause massive issues.
Don't know.
Do you know what passive VR embarrassment is going to be an issue as well? Because when I was there, I was obviously in a room full of other industry people and stuff, and someone took pictures of me, bless them, while I was in the Batman VR, because I had cowl ears on, and he took pictures like, you look really cool. And then someone else said they were going to make a Vine of me. They thought about making a Vine of me while I was playing one of the VR Worlds experience, because it's like Pong, but that you play with like your face, so you have to move your head to hit the ball. And he was like, I was just gonna make a Vine because you look really dumb. I was like, great, thanks, Steph.
Fair enough.
So that's gonna be an issue as well.
That's not creepy at all.
It's quite funny. It's like when we made that Patreon video of you playing with the dog in the Vive.
Oh, I love that.
That
dog.
was so
dog was
sweet.
amazing.
That was the
I'm
best.
so upset the Vive had to go back.
Yeah.
The Vive was a good piece of tech.
Yeah, no, it was good, but like I said, like it's just took up so much room, and I can't imagine
Not many people.
regular people just having that.
PlayStation VR is a much more
Yeah.
viable option, I think, for most. But
There you go.
That definitely is out
Yeah,
next month.
yeah, it's quite close to launch now.
Yeah. They'll start appearing at CEX soon.
Yeah, there you go. What have you been playing then, Tom Ori?
Well, PES demo.
It's good though, isn't it?
The PES demo?
Yeah.
I like it.
This is where I tap out because I don't know anything about football.
No,
so.
I don't really know much.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's quite a good game.
I couldn't really say how it differs that much from last year's one.
Yeah.
I think it looks a bit nicer than it did before. Passing, maybe they released the ball a little bit quicker. Felt like they hung onto it a little bit before last year. But it's not. It's just I didn't play any football game properly last year at all. I played FIFA 15 a lot. I got into Ultimate Team a little bit for the first time in 15.
Dangerous game, though.
Yeah, and then I thought after that, all my free time in the evenings, like my 40 minutes gaming time, whatever I get in the evening, was always FIFA. I didn't play much else outside of work for ages. I thought I'm not going to do that next year, so I didn't buy any of them.
Yeah.
And now I think sometimes I look at my list of games, I think I could just play PES or FIFA.
See, for me, I think PES has come back as the go-to football game for me. But I want to play FIFA 17 Story Mode.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in it. I don't know why.
I'm interested. I do.
I forgot about that. I forgot that was a
Probably won't be
thing.
very
It
good,
could be a complete
but
train wreck, and
Fight Night Champion.
Do you know what I quite like Fight Night Champion though?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a good way to approach that stuff. It's like when they do stories in like Mortal Kombat and things like that. Like I always kind of admire devs that think how can we expand
I'd like to
what
see
is otherwise.
what gameplay there is outside of just because obviously
I
it's going to be a lot of
assume there's
story,
not much, right?
and then it's going to be like you're on the pitch playing.
You might get to choose.
I wonder if there's anything
make
outside of that, like you have to walk around the stadium.
No,
you
it would
have
be
to kind of like walk around your apartment and figure out whether you should get to training on time.
PlayStation Home.
No, it will be like I would assume it will be like Fight Night Champion where there's a cutscene where it's like you have to fight this guy, beat the crap out of my brother, and then like you have to. So it'll be like you dishonored my father, now I must beat you at football or whatever.
I guess the thing is with football, which I guess is how I see this not working as well as maybe they hope, is that football is a team sport, and you are like, I'm not sure how they're going to get across, say there's an issue going on and you've got a grudge with somebody or whatever, how are you going to do anything about that when you're actually playing?
Oh, maybe it'll be shit like, you can't pass to this guy, or like,
disable the pass button when you...
I'd be interested to see it, like that is, at least they've done something this year that feels like, obviously it's different to previous years, you've never had this before. But just the fact that they've actually, it seemed like they've said anyway, new engine, it's on Frostbite now and everything, so I'm interested to see FIFA as well. But yeah, I think this year I probably will. PES is looking very good, like the demo is excellent.
Yeah.
So FIFA has to improve, I think.
There's also another good sports game coming out. NHL 17. It's on EA Access for everything. I'm going to play it.
You're going to get a cheeky...
NHL, I say this every year, it's the most underrated sports game or underappreciated sports game.
Wasn't last year's one like completely nothingness though?
No, that was the one before that. And it was still good for a casual hockey fan that didn't really care about all the fun stuff that goes into hockey. I'm not even a casual hockey fan, I just play NHL and I think it's quite good.
Fair enough.
NHL 95, that's the one, Dave. Was it 94?
I don't know, I didn't play them until like
Drive
07 or something.
Played that loads. I bought it from Crawley County Mall.
It used to be about Wayne Gretzky, didn't it?
This was
back in the
I
day.
think this was before.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. That's the only thing I know about him.
Everyone knows that Mega Drive NHL was the best one ever.
Oh,
we'll watch the comments.
There you go.
People will agree.
Okay.
I think they'll say Mega Drive Aladdin was better.
What about you, David?
What
have you been playing?
I have been playing quite a bit of the Battlefield 1 beta since our live stream last week.
Yeah, you really liked it, didn't you?
I do like it a lot.
You might be getting onto this, but I've seen a lot of people saying the map is rubbish, but the game is really good. How can those two things
coexist?
Really easily?
the map isn't
There's
rubbish.
only one map at the moment, isn't there, in the big...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sinai Desert. So you pronounce it. The map isn't rubbish. It's not,
I thought it looked quite good.
Yeah, I can understand why people would say that. It doesn't really feel like a traditional Battlefield map, I guess. It's a very... So it's almost like two halves of it, or it's almost split into a huge chunk of desert with a couple of settlements in there, or a couple of bases rather in there, and then you have at the north end a big settlement / small village town thing, destructible buildings. So I guess there's two gameplay styles. You either hang out in that village and you're an assault guy with an assault machine gun type thing, or you're in the desert as a sniper. It's one or the other really, and I can see why people would be frustrated with that. I don't think it's an awful map, I just don't think it's the best map Battlefield has had. It's a lot better than Battlefront's bloody maps, I'll tell you that much.
Well, you don't want to blow your map wad and put all your best ones in your
I think
in your beta, right?
maybe some people are upset because the alpha map, which wasn't public really, seemed to have what looked like a better map.
Yeah.
And maybe people are a bit upset that they didn't get to play that. So, no, I'm really enjoying Battlefield 1. I think it's great, and I'm a big Battlefield fan. I love Battlefield 4. Hardline was a little bit of a blip, but it's surprised me with how much I've enjoyed it, because I think coming off the back of Battlefront, I think they made some big changes in there in terms of vehicles and pickups and things like that, and they almost merged that system with Battlefield 1, which I was worried about. So you have now, I think they call them elite soldiers, and they are pickups on the ground. They're not as visible as they were in Battlefront. I think you actually have to properly search for them. And the way that you now spawn into planes, at least, you have to select them from the menu when you spawn. It's not like, well, there's a plane on the ground, I'm just going to get into that and take off, which is traditional Battlefield. And I think when you, in my head, I was like, oh, are they changing Battlefield a little bit too much off the back of what they did with Battlefront? Thankfully, I don't think they have. I don't think it's ruined the Battlefield experience perhaps as much as I worried it was going to. And the gunplay is really good, and the audio is amazing. The guns have a proper kick to them, which is always good in a shooty game. So yeah, liking it a lot, and I'm very excited for it. Enjoyed it more than the Titanfall beta,
which you talked about last week.
Which is a surprise, because Titanfall I thought would be my shooter of the year.
Wow.
How are you going to split your time between Battlefield,
hard, isn't it?
Titanfall, COD?
Week after week, 2 CODs as well, same day. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, I'm a bit addicted to Battlefield 1 at the moment. I keep going back to it.
Have you had any issues with the weather? Because Miller said that the weather is currently generated on, like, locally on your machine and not from a server.
Yeah, I didn't realise this.
So you'll have different weather to other people.
Because it has these moments where they have like sandstorms, and it completely, your visibility is pretty much nil.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise until he said that apparently is decided locally rather than split on the server. And so yeah, I don't know, I've not noticed that other people have an advantage, or I have an advantage over them at certain points, but I guess it's difficult to tell unless you're in the same game with someone and actually talking about it or can see it. But yeah, that they do need to sort that out if that is an actual thing.
I like the objective names as well.
I can't
Objective Butter. This is my favourite.
It says it, it's like,
I love it.
Yeah, it's amusing, but I know it's authentic for the time.
Objective apples has been taken.
Apple, and not just apples.
Yeah.
And butter, because it's obviously before the international like alpha beta was established, and I love they're just like, what, B is for butter.
So English, so British.
Let's say A is for apples.
Yeah, love it. I've also gone back to Drive Club. Can you believe it? I know we were talking about it earlier. I've gone back to do the DLC. It's still good.
Yeah.
Still good. Yeah, I would love for that to be updated for Neo, but who knows?
We shall see.
Yeah, so that's been my week really. Battlefield
Drive
Club, which it has been for years, so nothing new.
Nothing new. Oh, I've been playing World of Warcraft Legion.
The new expansion.
Which is the new expansion, yeah.
How's that?
I'm really enjoying it.
A lot of people have gone back to it, haven't they?
Yeah.
It seems to be the expansion that has brought people back.
I don't know what it's weird. It's I haven't played it for a few years. I played it a lot, sort of in the early 2010s. And this, of all the Warcrafts I've played sort of 3 versions, and this is definitely the most. It's got the most focus on you, like a little sort of single player story almost.
Yeah.
Which is always funny in an MMORPG because it's like, quick, take this thing. Only you can, and then there are like 20 other people milling around to hand in the same quest, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's really fun. It all takes place sort of mostly on a little separate area that they've got on the map called the Broken Isles. And you go around and you do different bits, and it all scales with your level. It's pushed the level cap up to 110, I think.
See, an extra 10 levels doesn't sound a lot.
Yeah, it takes a while though.
But yeah.
Once you're up at that end.
Yeah.
And they're working to make it very accessible. More accessible than ever, I think, because like the past couple of expansions, when you buy them, they let you boost a character up to 90 or 100.
How did they ever deny that Destiny was like an MMO? Anyway, yeah.
But it's not, and it's not. I mean, there are still less play. Like Blizzard stopped publishing how many active players they had because they fell to their lowest since 2005, I think.
We don't talk about that now.
Don't talk about that. But it's still a lot of people. It's still millions of people. And it's still really fun, and you run into little people and stuff. It's good. I really like it. I call my character Bobby.
Bobby?
Which is really, which is really funny, especially because people are always like, "Thank God you came, Bobby," and stuff.
Yeah. I'm a total Warcraft noob. I've never played it.
Really?
World of Warcraft, at least.
Maybe we should get you playing a bit of Warcraft.
So, if I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to do this. But let's say I was a completely new player.
Yeah.
Came in at Legion.
Yeah.
I get my level 100 boost.
Yeah.
Would I know what would I... Presumably I wouldn't be at the same level as a level 100 player that has actually got to level 100 themselves. Like, I'm not going to... Will I have the gear that they'll have? Will I have the...
Well, they'll probably have more... So they'll probably have better gear that they found, like, from doing special, raids and stuff, and they'll probably have, like, epic mounts and stuff. So they'll have...
But how valuable is actually having a level 100 boost in the sense that, is it not better for you to progress from 0 to... I don't know how to...
Well, the idea is that the content that you buy with Legion, specifically... So you'll be able to play, like, the rest of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And you can start a character at level 1.
Right.
And hang about on, like, Kalimdor and stuff like that. But the content specifically for Legion, which is all those big fights and stuff, starts, around level 100.
Right, yeah.
So the idea is that you buy this and you should be able to play it, I guess, right away, kind of thing. So it is like the Taken King.
Buying like Destiny, whatever they're calling it now, the collection, getting a level, I don't know what it is, 40 boost or something like that, and because part of the fun. Well, I say the fun of Destiny. The bit that I perhaps enjoyed the most of Destiny was the levelling up part of it.
Yeah.
It feels like if you jump in now, you're skipping all that part to play the latest expansion pack.
Well, you can
missing
still...
the challenge of doing the original missions up until now.
You can have not as many characters. You can have a lot of different characters.
Yeah,
so it only lets you boost one character. And really what you're missing out on is sort of knowing how to play WoW, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but you learn to do that. And every time you start a new character, you start off in like a kind of character starting area that sort of, you play through a sort of little character or race specific bit that is like, welcome to our thing, and you kind of go around.
Do you ever see like level 10s walking around, for example?
If you go to different areas, so this is on the mainland of the map, areas have sort of different kind of level bits.
Okay. It's not like everyone's just got to level 100 and that's
no, because the level cap is at like 100 now. Yeah. So people often start new characters anyway just to play different classes and races and stuff. Fair enough. And you can play on different servers and stuff. You can play on a PvP server and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
But
that makes sense. I guess in my head I kind of saw it like you go on like this is crazy alternative, but like an advanced driving course where you learn how to drive in a week. Like you're not going to have the experience or as like someone that's been learning to drive for a few months, even though you both.
Well, that still applies. Like if you're just playing Warcraft for the first time, then you won't know as much what you should do.
Yeah.
Like you won't if you're in like doing an instance, doing like a group dungeon with a team. You'll like you wouldn't know that like if someone levels up, you're supposed to put like GZ in the chat, that kind of thing.
Oh, I've learned something new.
Yeah, that means congratulations on your level.
Excellent.
You wouldn't know that like when loot drops in a dungeon, if you don't need it for your character, then you shouldn't say that you need it, because otherwise someone who does need it might
So you wouldn't know the etiquette of World of Warcraft.
And that kind of thing. There's other little things like, you know...
Do you have to hold doors open for people and stuff like that? Offer them some gold.
There's little things that like... I'm trying to think, like, it's just really specific things, like if someone's like done a spell on something that traps them, don't attack that enemy because they'll be untrapped again, all this kind of stuff.
Right. It's like the unwritten rules of Warcraft.
But it's still... but it's, like, generally speaking, the community in Warcraft is very nice. There are still assholes that kind of gank, like, lower level, like, you'll get, like, really high level people going and ganking on low level areas just because they can.
I don't know what ganking is.
It's like a gang of high level players just going to, like, a low level area and killing loads of low level players.
Okay, yeah.
And people are just assholes.
So it's like
I feel
like
that
in Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But they're really like the first time I played Warcraft, I just got to like level 15 or something, 14, 15. I was playing a dungeon with people I didn't know, and they gave me advice because I'd only been playing it like a few days. So they're like, oh well, maybe like don't use this spell then. You should use this at the end of a fight, and like maybe you want to how do you like to play? And they gave me loads of advice, and they didn't know each other and they didn't know me, but they just wanted to help me, which is really nice.
Very social.
Why has this game never come to consoles?
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't.
There's
Well,
a rumour that it was coming to 360.
I know there's like I know it's going to have like it'd have massive like interface issues, but it'd have to sort of. But other MMOs have managed it, so.
I don't know.
Are there many that have managed it?
Well, that they are available on consoles.
It's probably one of those things where like because it's over 10 years old now. It's probably one of those things where there's just code in there that like works, but they don't know why. And they don't want to, like, legacy stuff, and they don't want to touch it, because, like, the person that did it is gone now as well, and, like, all that kind of stuff, like, it's all built on top of loads of layers of this stuff.
I think they're quite happy with that.
And they're, like, Blizzard are doing alright, aren't they? But Legion's very good. If you like WoW, you've probably already got Legion, but I'm enjoying it. Some people who really like vanilla WoW don't like Legion, but, you know, I've got back into it, and I played it for a few hours the other night. I wasn't expecting to, so I'm doing that. Anyway, let's do some questions, because we're running out of time. Be very quick.
Okay, that's fine with me.
We'll discuss. So we call it, you can, when we record our podcasts, we put on Twitter that we're about to record them. And then you can ask us some questions to the Video Gamer Twitter account.
Hello,
and we will
Twitter
reply.
people.
Let me just get them up.
At VideogamerCon.
Yeah, that's true. I should say that, shouldn't I? Otherwise you won't be able to ask questions. Right, let me
We
just...
usually record on Tuesday morning. Maybe around lunch, maybe just before lunch.
There you go. It's very specific. Okay. W at B Collage says, have you played any good obscure indie games lately?
Good obscure indie games. None of that really goes together for me that often.
Really? No.
I start. It's not. I'm not sure if it's really obscure, but I did finally around to playing a bit of the Talos Principle.
The Talos Principle.
That's what it's called, isn't it?
Isn't that quite old?
Yeah, it is. But
there you go.
I bought it in a sale on PS4 sale, I don't know, a few months ago.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for another puzzle game after I'd kind of done with Witness. It's pretty cool. Like it's.
Is it like The Witness?
No.
Oh.
It's a
There you
puzzle
go.
game.
I
It is a
assumed
puzzle
you to
game.
say it. I assumed you
It's
to
a
say
puzzle
it.
game, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's like The Witness.
Right.
It is puzzles, but they're not. I wouldn't say they're a similar type of puzzles to The Witness.
Oh.
But it is a game where you move around a 3D world and there are puzzles in it.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it seems pretty cool so far. I'm not that far in, but
It's not
There you
obscure at all. Well, it kind of is, but it's not a small indie game. I guess I played a bit of Overcooked a couple of weeks back.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's a good co-op
It's really
game.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
It's good couch co-op as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
very
everyone
good.
in the room.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. If you are looking for a co-op game, Overcooked was good fun. So.
Yeah, I played Stardew Valley. That's good, but it's not really obscure either.
No. I'm struggling with the obscure indie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that sort of stuff's on PC, and I don't tend to go on the PC.
There is a PC game I haven't played yet, but looks kind of cool. It's called Seasons of the Fall or something like that. I think you play as a fox.
Yeah.
It's a 2D platformer.
Looks like
I'm not sure if it's Metroidvania or not, if it's a platformer, but it looks pretty.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but yeah, if you like pretty platforming games, maybe give that a look. It's only on PC at the moment, I think.
Alright, okay, so Joe at VideogamerTV, are there any games you think will get lost in the shuffle with the upcoming wave of releases this and next month?
Well, I think Titanfall's a risk. I said that before. I think that's going to rely on the core fans to say amazing things about it, and that hasn't happened so far. So, in terms of the big AAA shooter market, that might do. What have we got coming out? You know what? I think Gears may.
Yeah, nobody's really talking up Gears either, are they?
Any Xbox exclusive at the moment struggles because Xbox used to be the platform for big exclusive like blockbusters. It's because the Xbox One hasn't done as well as they wanted. It's just, I think anything that's only on Xbox is automatically seen as a bit of a failure before it started.
I can see Forza Horizon doing okay.
There's a lot more positive buzz around that than there is with Gears. Even though I think Gears looks decent, I think it just doesn't fit. Like for
it doesn't feel like there's a Gears game out in a few weeks.
No, it totally doesn't.
It's like a month, isn't it? It's out early on time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Not even Miller is. We said this before, but not even Miller is that
really
hyped.
Blimey.
Which is weird.
I think it really is the console. Like, had that been a launch game for Scorpio, I think there'd have been a lot more interest. It's just, I think Xbox One exclusives struggle to build hype at the moment.
Yeah, you might be right.
Carl Bowie, or possibly Bowie, at Kebflash. Are we going to get any more Video Gamer the Animated Series, which you can see on our YouTube channel, VideogamerTV?
Hopefully, it's made by my sister.
Which is amazing.
She's
fantastic.
She's only 16, so she's now at college, so
So
a little busier. But hopefully, I think she wants to do another one. It's just whether or not she has the time and how it takes a long time to put them together because it's all animated and a couple of minutes takes up weeks and weeks and weeks of work. So
she drew a picture of me with Diddy.
Oh, that was lovely, wasn't it?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to change my Twitter profile.
Maybe you should. Daniel England at Daniel England 95. Favorite type of cheese?
Halloumi.
I was going to say halloumi. There's been a lot of talk of halloumi recently.
I've taken it. Yeah, halloumi's come into style again, hasn't it?
It's back in fashion.
Otherwise, cheese string.
Cheese Dave. Cheese string.
That's such a dad response. Ooh, cheese string.
Cheese strings are good. Oh, I lost my mic. Cheese
Dropped
strings
his
are
mic.
good.
They're not good.
Alright.
What do you mean they're not good? Especially the...
On a burger, some blue cheese is quite nice.
Really?
I never used to like blue cheese. I wouldn't really eat it on a cracker or something, but on a burger, very nice.
I'm not sure I've ever tried it.
We got 2 people asked about cheese actually. It's
Really?
quite good, so we've answered it both. They've just wanted to know what our favourite cheeses were.
What is this a thing? It's
because the tweet asking for questions for cheese.
Oh, right.
At James_S Wilson, I have an interview game today. Any advice?
Well, there was a time when I would interview people.
Did you?
Do you want to talk about your time at Game Day?
If someone
checkered history there.
If someone asks in your interview, if a small child leaves a copy of Grand Theft Auto to the till, what do you do? Please don't answer. Put the game in the box because probably will struggle to get that book. What you could do, obviously, is say, this is an 18 rated video.
Yeah, exactly.
I
worked at Game Station.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before
Back
it
in the
became
day.
Game, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Joyce's video, but there was a gaming section there, so I feel like I can join in this discussion as well.
What sort of era was this time?
That was Driver 3.
Okay, so sort of early-ish PS2, mid PS2.
It was I remember there's a couple of games I remember coming in: Driver 3 and Transformers Armada.
Oh yeah.
So what was that mid-late PS2? I can't remember.
It was late. Late PS2 feels
PS2
like.
maybe, yeah, it was a long time ago anyway. But yeah, I had a similar thing of parents coming in asking why their child was not allowed to buy
Oh, yeah.
Game.
Oh yeah.
I think people just don't think.
Like, I can get into a lot of trouble if I save that game.
I've told the story as well about Burnout and how upset I was that this mother came in. My son wants a racing game. He wants a nice, good fun game. And I said, Burnout 3. That's all you need. She looked at the box. It was a Peggy 3, and she said, "It's rated 3." I was like, "Yeah." What's for 3-year-olds? No. That's not what it means. A lot of confusion around Peggy back then. Lots of confusion.
Still.
That's why I was always surprised when BBFC didn't get. Maybe BBFC. Well, maybe it's costing more than BBFC. That's why Peggy was pushed as the primary one. But yeah, a lot of confusion about Peggy.
I would always just say, think of it as like a film rating.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
yeah, but they did.
But it was mad to me that people just didn't get it.
It was like an age rating on a board game or something like that, and it was really an old thing. And I was like, no, it can't be that scary. It got a picture of a spider on it. I was like, no, like the Peggy logo for horror was a spider at one point. It's like, no, I mean that doesn't mean that it's got spiders in it. That means that it is scary.
So yeah, if you're interviewing a game, I would say just show passion for games, I guess. I mean, I worked somewhere where they weren't really that bothered, to be honest, so...
It's just good customer service.
Yeah, just good customer service, be engaging, if you make eye contact, be friendly.
Yeah.
Answer questions, like, beyond what is the minimum.
Yeah, don't just say a sentence and then stop.
Stop, because you can tell, I've interviewed lots of people, and people that don't kind of say more than what the minimum is, you just know it feels unnatural when they just stop talking, and it's hard. I guess it's hard to know when that point is, but
it's like this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, quite. But yeah, I hope you get your job. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's fun. I was a Christmas temp.
What's the discount now at Game?
I don't know. It was 20%.
Was it?
When I worked at game stations where you could take games home,
right,
play them, and then bring them back as long as you wrote a review on the website.
Really?
Yeah, they had a game station website where you could write reviews.
See, it was 30% for me.
Ooh.
30% software. Hardware was only 10% last week.
Alright, last question. Let's end on a positive note. Paul at PaulW4KE. What's the next game that you absolutely cannot wait to play?
Does that include ones that we have played, as in Battlefield 1? Or is it games that we have
Well, you can say Battlefield 1. Talk about something else as well.
Can't wait to play. Throw me a bit. Maybe I'm looking forward to The Last Guardian. I really am. I hope that is amazing.
Yeah.
Other than that, can't wait to play. I don't know. There's loads and loads of games that fall into that kind of. I'm really looking forward to that category. But there's not one that really stands out as being the one that is the ultimate. Oh my goodness, this one I absolutely need to play immediately right now.
Oh, I tried to end on a positive note, but
Sonic Mania.
He's throwing his hands in the air. Anyone?
I'm quite looking forward to playing Recall. I know that.
Are you?
I know, really.
It's just because it doesn't look like every other game it looks a bit different, and I mean the less than normal retail price suggests it's not going to be as good as some of those games. But I don't know, for some reason I want it to be good. Possibly because it's an exclusive that is a new IP,
isn't it?
It's out very soon. But yeah, we'll find out.
Oh, there you
next
go.
week.
I am really looking forward to Dishonored 2.
Are you?
Dos.
Yeah, I wish I was.
Are you not?
I didn't get on with the original when it first came out. I went back to the definitive edition, what they called it, earlier in the summer. I played maybe 2 or 3 hours of it, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I first played it. But again, it's one of those that is. I think that one might be a cheaper one for me. That might be a launch one for me. That one.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it was really cool, the gameplay they've showed off.
I think it will be regarded as one of the best games of the year, but I'm not sure it's entirely for me.
And I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy 15, which I never thought I'd say, but I really am. Really want to play it. Yeah. Very excited. So there we go. This will be the end of the podcast if you're listening on Wednesday. If you're not, if you're a patron, then you get an extra few minutes that we shall record very soon, almost immediately, in fact.
Pay more than $5?
I think so, yeah. If you would like to support Videogamer, then you can go to patreon.com/Videogamer. and choose to donate as you wish. And we very much appreciate it.
Yeah, you're on there now. There's a video of my mum.
There is actually. It's really funny.
Wait. What does this mean? You can't just say.
It's his mum talking about the Football Manager series of videos that Tom did.
Is she on camera?
Yeah, it's
Your
really
mum's
funny.
on camera.
Yeah, I mean, we just finished dinner, and she started just randomly going off on one.
It's basically a minute of Tom's mum tearing him down.
I just get her to stop because I knew instantly it was gold. So I said, "Stop! I'm going to film this."
Right.
So
It's really funny.
Like you can tell she's tied
Oh,
up a little
okay,
bit.
yeah.
But it is the honest. Like she said worse actually the first time. She toned it down slightly.
It's
Oh,
great.
She doesn't like my videos.
Poor Tom. But once you pledge to our Patreon, you do get backwards compat access to other videos we've done. There's a lot on there.
Yeah.
You can also follow us at VideogamerCom. You can follow me. I'm at BabyGotBell on Twitter. Dave.
VG_Dave.
There you go. And Tom.
VG Tomo. Are you at 5,000?
I passed 5,000.
Okay,
Yeah, some time ago.
Good. I did. I just wanted.
Me and Tom had a little competition of who get to 5,000 first. Yeah.
What people fail to realise is that it worked in both of our favours, and the ultimate winner was me, who owns the company.
Well,
Tom does say that he is responsible for anything I achieve or do because he hired me. So there's that. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Do check out our YouTube channel, which is YouTube.com/VideogamerTV. And anything else? Oh, the website. We do have a website, VideogamerTV.com.
I
There you
hang
go.
out on the website a lot.
You do, don't you?
Like, a lot. Yeah, quite a bit actually. Like that's where the news can really sort of explode sometimes.
There you go. So go to
yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
go to VideogamerTV.com to check out
News.
Dave's exploding news cannon.
I'll let you in on the secret. It's been a bit quiet, but occasionally the news cannon does roll out, and it rolls out in force. It's like a big sort of what do they call them? Like big destroyer ships. It's like.
Alright, and on that note, we shall leave you, but if you're a patron, look forward to your extra 20 minutes coming up soon. Alright, welcome back, patrons. You never went away. Hello.
We've just sat here during that little break. I don't know how it works. Is there like a little pause? Do they get the outro music and then it comes up?
Maybe.
How are we doing it?
Don't know,
I've never
actually.
listened to the Patreon.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
Right, good. Right, wonderful. I've been watching Stranger Things, and I thought I'd tell you all about
We're
it.
going to do a Netflix special, I think, to talk about. So what do you think of Stranger Things, Dave?
I binged on it on Saturday or Sunday, one of the days, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, which I'm not surprised because everyone was saying it was great and all that. I did feel like I preferred the first half to the second half, though. I can't really say why because spoilers. But I felt like once, you said it as well, Tom, once things started to become clearer.
There was less mystery, I suppose. Less mystery in an abstract way.
It's still very good.
Yeah.
You know, I came away thinking, oh yeah, I kind of watched that. Yeah. Enjoyed it.
Really
What
good,
more is there
yeah.
to say? I don't know.
At the time, it finished, and I thought they should just leave it because it felt like.
I feel like the last episode wanted to end about 3 times before it did. I felt like it could have ended on all different.
But they left like a few little things there to suggest that there was other stuff happening. There was more like continuing stuff can develop. I still felt like they didn't have to make another season, but they are now. It's definitely happening next year, which I'm happy about. I'd like to watch more of it. I don't really know how it's going to work.
They said they've cast Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn, I think.
Colin Farrell always seems to get in on these.
I think. I can't remember where I read it. That might be like on a joke website, but.
Were the two from True Detective season 2?
They were, yeah. I don't know if they'll be paired up. Like they might just both be in it, but never meet each other or whatever. But
It does set it up for a second.
Yeah, it definitely does. I just don't like, particularly with the kids. Like they were so like heavily involved in this season. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it's going to develop, but it feels like the main thrust for them is gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if they set it somewhere else and it was different, but still under the Stranger Things mantle, and maybe had like callbacks or involved similar things, but was different people.
Surprised by quite how many, coming from a gaming perspective, how many influences there appeared to be in that story from a game side. I don't know if you can name the games without it being spoilery, really. But there's at least 2 games that I could name where you're like, I mean, that's crossed
Well, they start
this game,
like
for this game, and that's Stranger Things.
they start off playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know, like
Dragons, but
yeah,
the theme and what happens throughout is clearly. I mean, if it isn't inspired by a certain two games,
I want to know what you think they are now.
Can I say it on here? Is that a spoiler?
Well, I don't know how much. I don't know what games you're referring to, really.
Makes the games. Let's try and work them out.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Quizzes.
Your favourite video games director that's not Kojima.
A Frenchman.
That's French.
Oh yeah.
And a Japanese horror series.
Really?
Do you not think?
I don't know
It's very
actually.
quiet sometimes up in the mountains. No, do you not think it's
Yeah, you're right. No one's
his
going to get that
last game
one.
mixed with that game series? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. That's interesting though.
Fair enough. I mean, if you haven't worked out what those two games are by now, then I don't know why you're listening to this podcast.
Wow.
Just say them.
Shall I say them?
Doesn't matter.
Turn off now if you don't want.
I mean, it's not because the plot doesn't follow that, so it's not a massive spoiler.
Clearly, Beyond as an obvious influence, and then Silent Hill, right? Like with the whole kind of. Do I say the spoiler now? I don't even know if I say the spoiler.
I don't even know what spoiler you're talking about.
The whole theme behind.
I think we get it.
We get it, Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stranger Things is good.
Yeah,
It's very good.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of very obvious, influences from the 70s and 80s and stuff. Deliberately films things that way. It's a lot of like E.T. and stuff like that.
Is it meant to be set in like the 80s?
Yeah, but it deliberately uses stuff from
Well,
films from the 80s.
Good in it as well.
She's very good, isn't she? Yeah.
Did you see the I think someone cosplayed as Ryder and the
house with lights and yeah. There's a bit in it where Winona Ryder is communicating with something using Christmas lights in her house.
Well, no, the wall bit I didn't quite get when it went to colour. You know the bit I mean?
I know the bit you mean because
Was that
later
because the Beyond was doing stuff at the same time, and that
it was her son, right? But I don't understand.
No, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but like later in the TV show, it sort of didn't indicate that he would have been able to do individual letters and stuff. But anyway, we're getting off piste. But I thought it was really good. The kids in it are really sweet as well. They're really nice, like in real life.
And they're really for child actors. They're amazing.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't surprised that I liked it because I'd heard so much good stuff about it. But no, I didn't come away disappointed. So
that's good.
That was good. I've still got to watch it, and it is Netflix. This is Amazon.
It was a Netflix special, Dave.
Sorry, I've broken the rules.
What's on Amazon?
I'm still halfway through the first season of Mr. Robot.
Oh.
I've kind of given up on it a little
I
bit.
watched all of season 1 and about 3 episodes of 2, and I've got to the point where I thought, this is just it. Season 2 starts off so slowly, and it's gone so far away from what it was. I mean, I've seen lots of people saying that later episodes are amazing, but I just felt like it just fizzled out.
Should I persevere with season 1? I'm about halfway through.
I liked all of season 1 really. I think it changes a lot as a programme because obviously, I don't want to say that this is a programme you can massively spoil.
Right.
But it's not just about hacking, which is what it seems to be about, and like revolution and stuff. But yeah.
Fair enough.
When I was at Comic-Con, there were people promoting Mr. Robot, and they were all walking around with they all had black hoodies and like jogging bottoms on, which must have been really hot.
Yeah.
And then they were wearing masks that had they sort of looked like kind of Father Christmassy almost.
Yeah, that's the F Society mask.
Oh, there you go.
Mr. Robot's an odd one because I am enjoying it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I'd watch the next one. But it's got to a point where I kind of am like, it feels like it's spending time not doing a lot.
Yeah, well, that is. Season 2 is much worse for that.
Right.
But then I've seen a few people saying that the best episodes they've seen are in season 2, so...
I haven't watched any of it.
He's a lot better than I was expecting him to be as well. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, he's in Until Dawn, isn't he? Yeah.
One of the main guys on Until Dawn, and I didn't think the acting in Until Dawn was particularly amazing. So when I saw him in this, I was like, oh, no, actually, very good.
There you go.
Back to the Netflix.
All right.
I've been watching Narcos, which I know numerous people have talked about before, I think, on here, but I've seen three episodes, and it's very well made. Kind of like, it feels like almost a documentary, but also just like a drama. But it's different to lots of other shows I've seen. Like I don't know how authentic it is in terms of like what they've actually followed from history, but because it's basically follows
Pablo Escobar, right? Yeah.
Like how he rises and like what he does to create a drugs empire, and it's like it is very kind of engaging in that it's just like a normal guy but doing a lot of stuff that you wonder how they get away with all this stuff and the level of corruption going on, all that kind of stuff. The only issue I have with it is that the main DEA agent, or at least one of the main ones, like a blonde guy with a dodgy looking moustache, it just comes across a little bit wooden and like not particularly great at acting, but hopefully he kind of gels and like fits a bit more as we go on, but good so far anyway.
Have you seen Training Day?
Yes, a long time ago.
Amazing.
Is it like that? That's how, when you say I've been watching this, that is what I would compare it to.
Training Day was, I can't remember much about what it's like, corruption.
Training Day with Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel was a corrupt.
And he was corrupt, and the guy with him.
But he was like a good corrupt one. It was weird.
I guess it's
like,
similar
it wasn't
in
good,
like
but
people, the regular people quite liked Pablo Escobar, didn't they? Because he
well,
built loads of schools and shit.
This,
and like
this colours all that kind of angle. It's like he is a bad man, but seems to be trying to do some good things. He's a bit. He comes across, although he's obviously real, so it's not really, you can't really say the same. But like in Sopranos, like Tony Soprano is a bad man. You can't help but like him, even though he is bad. Like definitely very bad. Similar in this, obviously, but he is also much worse. Like he's a real life terrible person, but he has a certain charm that comes across quite well. Like the man they have cast does a decent job, although he has been kind of Hollywoodized slightly in terms of like, because they show clips of real life, like when he did appearances on TV and photos and stuff, and there is a resemblance clearly, but he's definitely been like made to look more appealing, even though he's slightly overweight and stuff. But it's he does a good job of being like likable, but also you know that he's an awful person.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've been meaning to. It's on my list. I don't tend to watch as much TV stuff as I do play video games, so I take a while to get through it. So.
Well, I have been watching a couple of things on Netflix. I've been watching iZombie, which is actually really good. Like, I started watching it because I was like, this sounds like it's going to be incredible shit. Because it's like this girl who gets turned into a zombie, and then she helps the police solve crimes because she works in the ME's office.
Does she add to the...
So when she has to eat brains, but she's like a nice zombie, so she eats the brains of dead people that come into the ME's office. But when she eats someone's brain, she can like access memories of theirs.
Right.
So she gets like,
stretch, isn't it?
yeah, I know. So
I like the sound of this.
So she gets flashbacks to like when these people were murdered that she sees like through their eyes and
sure,
stuff.
That's it though. Case closed. Just get her eating the brain.
No, because like she has to say that she's a psychic to the policeman because he doesn't know she's a zombie.
Oh, right, they're not aware she's a zombie.
Yeah, her boss that she works for in the ME's place is a zombie.
I'm going to remember flashbacks to another TV program from years ago that was set like in a morgue, I think, and there was a cop, and someone could kind of see into like the last.
Was that the one with like Courtney Arquette, maybe?
Remember. But it wasn't. No, it wasn't Medium.
Or Patricia Arquette,
That's
whatever her
Medium,
name
I
is.
think.
Yeah.
But it was like someone could see like memories of someone, like the last bits of their life.
I have no idea what you're.
What was this program? I can't remember. Maybe it's Pushing Daisies. Can't remember.
Maybe.
There was a program that was just like this, but not with the zombie eating.
But anyway, yeah, I was like, this sounds like it's going to be incredible shit, like absolutely terrible. And I watched it and it's actually like really good. Like it's way better than it has any right to be based on that premise. And there's all stuff like she was like, before she became a zombie, she was engaged to this guy and then she broke up the engagement, but like there's, you know, they're still in love and stuff, and then
zombie.
yeah, she's like a regular person. It's just if she didn't eat brains, she would become.
She doesn't look like a zombie.
Well, zombies have white blonde hair and really pale skin.
So in this world, zombies exist.
They do, but nobody knows they
So
exist
is it kind of like True Blood?
No, well,
the vampires exist and they kind of live alongside the normal people.
Yeah, that's a comparison, but nobody knows that zombies exist yet.
Right.
Just
not
the
many
zombies
of
thing.
them, or they've just been doing a good secret.
There's not. Well, it all started when this company started manufacturing a drink that sort of, you know, the start of Sunset Overdrive, where, you know, this.
Yeah.
That it's sort of like that. So people drink.
It sounds like total nonsense.
Yeah, it is, but it works really well. And it's really well done, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm on the 2nd season now. It's great. Some bits of it.
How many seasons are there?
I don't know. Some bits of it are proper shit, but like
actual rubbish.
Yeah, there's also stuff like.
Is it low budget? Is it like?
I don't. Mid budget. I think there aren't like really very many special effects. That many. There's good like practical makeup and stuff, but there isn't a lot of CGI or anything. But there's like a bit where she gets like a zombie boyfriend, and then he like attacks a bad zombie. And he like looks across the street in her window and is like, I love you, and then attacks the bad zombie and stuff like that. But it's actually really good.
Cheesy.
It's some of it's really like American TV cheesy, procedural drama. But it's like it's way better than I was expecting it to be. So I'm actually watching it now.
Fair enough.
And the other one I was watching is Call the Midwife, because I stayed up.
Midwife.
Yeah, because I stayed up really late on like Sunday night or Monday night. Sunday night, yeah, you're right, yeah, Sunday night. Reading the subreddit No Sleep, which is loads of scary stories.
I wouldn't have done that myself.
I know, so I was getting a bit freaked out, so I was like, well, I'll put on the most mundane thing.
How late are we talking?
It's like 3 a.m.
3 a.m, and that's like you've got a full working week ahead of you.
I must have been Saturday night, because I definitely wasn't there. But anyway, one night this weekend, I stayed up really late, and I wanted to put on the most mundane thing in the background, so to cancel it out, so I put on Call the Midwife. And I thought it was just like a nice program about helping people have babies kind of thing. But like some of it's like there was one episode where like they went to look after, because it's like the midwives are nuns, most of them,
right.
And they have some nurses that work with them, and the nuns took one of the nurses to help care for the brother of their cleaner, because he had cancer, so they were like looking after him.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it turned out like the brother and the cleaner, the brother and sister, were like in an incestual kind of husband and wife sort of relationship as well. And so like the nurse was like, what's going on? And the nuns were all like, don't you dare judge them. They were in a workhouse together. It was a terrible time. And I was just watching it like a Church of England nun would not be okay with that, sure, no matter how practical and like this is the real world.
Yeah.
Like that's not a regular thing. You can't
It's
just
more far-fetched than the zombie program.
and you can't just wave it away by being like, they were in the workhouse, how dare you? And like there's one bit where like spoilers for this episode.
I don't care.
The brother and sister like both end up dying, and one of the nuns is like, well, they're together now, and I was like, yeah, in hell, because they were doing it with each other, and that's not a thing you're supposed to do. No. And at the end of the episode, legitimately had a voiceover that was like, their house was full of love, and they loved each other completely and stuff.
Too much.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's incest isn't okay.
Game of Thrones does it.
Exactly, like this is. I was like, I thought
it seems to be the new TV fad.
I thought it was just
bit
about
incest.
exactly, just throwing a bit of incest to spice it up, because like having babies and you know like Jenny Agutter being a nun isn't enough to keep the masses entertained these days apparently. But then someone told me that it's based on like the memoirs of an actual nurse. So I was like, if that happened in real life, that's even worse.
Yeah.
So I'm not watching that anymore.
I mean, it probably was better than the stories you were reading on the internet.
They were good though, No Sleep. It's very creepy.
Well.
You look troubled, Dave.
I mean, I've been on Reddit. Actually, I've not been on Reddit as much as I used to.
Reddit is troubling in general, I understand.
But I can imagine that place is just full of things I don't want to see or read or hear or anything.
It's just basically ghost stories.
No, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
No. Not for me.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is as much as I'll push that.
Really?
Maybe Blair Witch. I'm thinking about it. thinking about going to see the new Blair Witch, but I'm not
Really?
sure if I want to at the cinema.
I didn't even know that was coming out until I started seeing it on
It was
buses.
like a secret, wasn't it? They showed it off without the title for a long time. I
Was
think.
that what they used?
Oh, like a secret thing.
Because I've got one of these Limitless cards now.
Well, you should go then if you've got Limitless.
Yeah,
Watch
but it's
everything.
like, there's Limitless and then there's shitting yourself in the cinema. And I don't want, you know.
The original Blair Witch wasn't that scary.
It wasn't, was it? Everyone was like, oh, it's terrible.
The very final scene was
Yeah.
like, that's a bit
That did
unnerving,
creep me out.
but it wasn't a scary film. Like, but this might be.
Because there's quite a few scary ones in the cinema, like Lights Out, things like that. That
Or Don't Breathe is supposed to be
Yeah,
really,
that's really
really
creepy.
creepy as well.
I'm half tempted, but I don't want to be the guy that gets up 10 minutes in and goes,
Is that
I'm out.
do you think you would have to do that maybe? Have you done that before?
I mean, it's not. No, I've never walked out of the cinema before. But it's not really an issue, is it? If you're limitless, you just go in, I'll give it a go. But then, there's people around you judging you. Like, you can't handle it.
You need to go out of town, go somewhere else.
Somewhere I'll never go back.
So they don't know you. So no, we're like that Dave Scammell.
Yeah.
I saw him running out of the cinema.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't want that.
Well, on that note, shall we wrap it up this week?
Yeah. Why not?
Thank you very much, patrons, for donating and for listening. We love you all. We know that the office is... No one more than us knows the office is empty right now. Feeling empty.
There's
But
not many people here anymore.
But we are getting some new people in. We're not allowed to talk about it yet. But we will soon.
Can we just tell them? Can we give them a hint?
No.
No, we're not allowed at all.
Oh.
It's not even like it's you know.
We're allowed, but they're
Well, they're not basically. So.
Oh,
They
right.
might not be happy with us if we revealed their identities.
Yeah.
I see. I'm with you.
It's not Jim Sterling.
Oh.
No, and it's not anyone called like what were people saying, Beeve Stearns. It's
No.
nothing like that.
Who?
People were just being like, ah, is it Jim and Burns coming back under different names?
Oh,
no,
maybe.
it's
I
not.
thought it was like some freelancer.
Two completely new people.
Oh.
It's a very exciting time. So keep an eye out for that, and thank you very much for continuing to support Video Gamer.
Yeah, you're alright.
We completely appreciate it.
You're not bad. You're not bad.
Oh.
I quite like you.
So on that ringing endorsement from Dave, we shall bid you adieu.
Yeah, it's time for lunch actually. I've just seen the time. I'm surprised you've not gone crazy. It's like nearly 1:30.
Right.
Alright,
All
we
right,
love you
okay.
very much. Goodbye.
Bye.